locks out of braids. Who do that? Where they do that at? Can you wash your hair with them braid locks? Can you condition your hair with them braid locks? Can you roll up your hair with them braid locks? Inquiring minds would like to know. I know I got y'all with that one. But anyways, y'all, hey. How is everybody doing? This is Tracy920, and thanks so much for tuning into my channel. But if this is your first time viewing any of my content, I'd like to tell you welcome and thank you so very much for stopping by. But anyway, the reason why I'm making this video, I have a friend that is thinking about getting locks, and she wants to know, the pros and the cons, what she should be doing, what she shouldn't be doing. She did a video asking a few questions about, locks in general, because she's trying to figure out, what locks that she really want to decide to get, and different things like that. Without further ado, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and try to answer some of these questions to the best of my ability. And I hope that this helps anyone that is looking and doing researching on locks, that maybe you run across this video and this video helps you. I'm only going to talk really about what I've experienced, or maybe even a little bit about what I know, and compared to maybe what some others do. But I don't want to make this video no long video. I want to go in and answer the questions to the best of my ability and be done. I want to keep it simple and brief, even though I have a good number of questions, and I want to make sure I get every nook and cranny of an answer for those questions. I do not want to leave nothing unanswered. Okay, so guys, please bear with me. This might be a long video. But before I get into the questions, I just want to say a little bit about myself. Yes, I've been loose natural since February of 2009. I decided to start braid locking my hair. This was last year, October the 15th, 2018. So I have, as of today, I can say, yeah, I'm 14 months locked. But if you want to be technical about it and you got to wait to that date, forget all of that. I'm 14 months locked, y'all. We're going to get on into the questions. Okay, my first question is, which I kind of made that into 3 questions because it's always based around the same thing. So the first part of the question was, what type of shampoos and conditioners do I use? And I put an A and a B, and it says, can conditioners be used while you have locks? And B is, can a person be a product junkie also while having locks? So the first part I wanted to answer, which says, what types of conditioners and shampoos does I use in my braid locks? The shampoo that I like to use in my braid locks is the Suave's Clarifying Shampoo. I use that. I use is Dr. Bronner's Concealed Soaps. And also I use is a moisturizing shampoo. Now I had got that little tidbit from Damian Walters, who is a king of locks. He does the thing. And he had said that when you want a great turnout when it comes down to starting your hair off with locks or just maintaining your locks, the best thing it comes from, and good moisturization, it comes from your shampooing. He said you are to, cleanse your scalp, okay, with a great clarifying shampoo or whatever. Then after you do all that, you're going to use a moisturizing shampoo. That way all of the moisture and everything that clarifying shampoo took out of your hair, then the moisturizing shampoo puts it back. So I found that to really work. That's the reason why I like to use the Dr. Bronner's and the Suave as a clarifying shampoo. And when I have moisturizing shampoo, in which I need to get me some more, I will use the main moisturizing shampoo that I had was this Aunt Jackie's Come Clean or something like that. That shampoo, I don't know if it was supposed to have been a clarifying shampoo, but it was more like a moisturizing shampoo to me. And I love that shampoo. It was good. So I want to go back and get that. Okay, but if not, then I'm free to try another moisturizing shampoo. Okay, so that's the moisturizing shampoos and stuff that I use. Now, conditioners was the big question that she really wanted to know is, can you use conditioners in your hair? When you first starting out locks, you don't want to use really the moisturizing shampoo, I think, that much as far as with Braidlocs, and you don't want to really use conditioners. It depends on the conditioners. Now, the conditioners can definitely be tricky because you don't want to use the kind that's moisturizing and that creamy stuff. Because the main thing with locks you have to really look at is the fact you don't want that buildup. Because you got to remember that these are like hairs, all the shed hairs and everything else that comes off of your scalp will be into these locks. Okay, I'm not exactly sure how mine is going right now because sometimes I can look at my scalp, I mean not my scalp, but it look like at my hair, and I can't really tell if it's, getting that lock pack or whatever you want to call it, which, I have braid locks, and braid locks is way different from the sister locks and the palm rolling locks as well as freeform. Okay, so I like the way mine is the way it's set up. I'll just say, well, with locks, it collects all of the hairs that that you shed. Okay, it beats inside of that. Okay, so if you trying to, it's basically what makes up a lock is that. All right, so if you continue to put things on it that's going to soften it up, then it's not going to really lock because it's going to constantly be too soft to lock. I hope you get what I'm saying. Besides having loose hair, you want that slippage. But when you got locks, you don't need that slippage. I'll say it that way. Hopefully you get it. If anyone needs any more clarification about that, please let me know. Okay? Because maybe I could put it a whole nother way, but really everything that you basically do with your loose natural hair, you don't need to do all that with locks. Okay, you kind of like want to back away from using a lot of things, and that leads to the next question is when she said, can a person be a product junkie with having locks? Once again, I wouldn't want to use no creamy products in my locks. I have to use the shampoo to a certain point, but that only comes, and that only depends because every time you wash your hair, you might not need to really wash it that much to where you have to use that moisturizing shampoo, or you might can get away just using the clarifying shampoo and that does the job. You know what I'm saying? To where you don't need to use both shampoos. The less product basically that you put in your hair, the better off it is. Once something gets trapped inside of there, it can be crazy trying to get it out. I would say become a product junkie, but be a product junkie with the stuff that you know going to work for your hair. Okay, so that's how I'll leave that. Because to a certain point, you do have to find what products work for your hair because everybody's hair is different. No two heads are basically the same. That's in my book. Okay, so yeah. Moving on to the next question. It says, can locks be moisturized and steamed? And if so, how often? Okay, now first off, I know you can steam your locks. I know you can do that, but I never did it. But I did try that today in my son's hair. I had like a white, one of those little white kettles that you put water in and plug it up. And the water was boiling. And so the steam was shooting up out of the kettle. So my son came and he stood over. I said, lean your head on over. So he leaned his head on over and we moisturized. I did his locks like that, which steaming is a part of moisturization, which made his hair real soft at that time. But once it dried, it was back to its normal self. So I would say, yes, you can do it, but don't overdo it. And then if you do start to steam in your hair, make sure that your hair is locked first. You don't want to be doing that with freshly, what they say, starter locks, when you first get your locks started. Because see, when you first get your locks started, the main thing you need for your locks to start doing is clumping together. Start holding that where it can form that lock and not come apart. So you want to avoid conditioners at that time. And you definitely want to avoid a lot of moisturization, and you want to avoid the steaming process, because what you're trying to do is get your locks to lock. You need them to lock first. You don't need them to be soft and all that, because that's not really what locks are supposed to be anyways. Locks are supposed to have like a little rough feeling to them, not so rough, to where it feel like you, when you do this, it's gonna break off. No, that's just too dry. And make sure you just drink plenty of water, because also you got to remember what's on the inside comes out. So if you drink a plenty of water, that also will help with the moisturization of locks. Okay. Yeah, so the next thing, I hope that answered that question. Okay, my next one I'm moving on to, it said, how do I take care of my scalp? Oh my goodness, that is just a great question. How do you take care of your scalp? Well, first of all, your main thing is definitely keeping it clean. Definitely keeping it clean. That was one of the reasons why I chose Braidlocs, is because I am a sweater in the head. I sweat a lot. So it's like I need for my scalp to be clean, because okay, with me, when I sweat, my scalp itch. I don't know if anybody else experienced that, but it's just, to me, something about that is crazy, but that's what be happening, to where I'll kind of like will wash my hair a little bit more often than some people do. I try to go sometimes I can wash it every week, especially in the summer, basically every week. When it's cold like this in the wintertime, I try to go down to every 2 weeks. But when I start feeling that crazy itch, it's time to wash my head, period. I don't care. And then, like I said, too, drink a lot of water, because that helps with that as well. Because when I start, that's another thing too. My scalp can get to be like real, real itchy, and then I know that then I don't have enough water inside of my system, so I, have to start back drinking water. Even though I can't stand drinking water. But anyways, I do that. So yeah, drinking water is definitely number one. That helps with that part. Taking care of the scalp, like I said, no, definitely keeping it clean. Now, when sometimes your scalp can just itch, and you done cleaned it. You're drinking your water. You keeping all of that together. You just have to. I lately had this itch problem going down, and when I first started the locks, oh my God. So what I had started doing then, I would use. I want to make sure my hair was good and clarified. So I started doing an apple cider vinegar rinse. Okay, and that helped out a lot as well. Also, sometimes ain't nothing wrong with a little sulfurate. You know what I'm saying? Put some of that on your hands. You don't have to put a lot. I just take, a dip a little bit in my, on my hand, put it in the palm of my hand, and do like this with my fingertips, and then put my fingertips together like this, and then go on my scalp and do like that, with a nice amount of the sulfurate. And that just takes it away completely. I mean, I wasn't feeling anything else after that. It was good to go. Okay. So that's what I have done to really take care of my scalp, is basically keeping my hair clean. Hey, if I got to go in there with that sulfurate and do what I got to do, I do what I got to do. Okay. Another thing too was added about the moisturization. I forgot to say that I likes to use this little concoction that I came up with. I did post a link. I will post a link in the card section showing the video of me making it up and everything, but it was one of the greatest locologists that's on YouTube. I still say that hands down, Yanni the lockologist. If I find her link, I will put that link in the description box. Please go to her channel and check her channel out, because she is the lockologist of everything. If you got any questions about anything, interested in the type of locks that she's doing, because she does the palm rolling kind, the twist kind, I think. But I think she does them all. You know what I'm saying? And between her and Damian Walters, I would say hands down would be the best two people that I would recommend for you to use. I mean, for you to watch, because at the time I was going through the process of figuring out if I want locks or not. Them two people was who I was watching. But I want to try to be that person as well. I want to be one of them as well. Y'all let me know if I'm doing a good job. Thumbs up the video. Yeah, as far as the moisturization, put with the concoction that I mix up, like I said, from Yanni the lockologist, she said to use she likes to use rose water, which I didn't, at the time I'm trying to be simple and easy. And what I'm saying, hey, if I don't have rose water, I'm not about to make a big deal out of it. I'm just going to use plain water and vitamin E oil. And I also add some peppermint oil to it. And I like that cool sensation. So that's good, for the scalp. And then sometimes it's just good to just, take some oil and just massage your scalp. It don't have to be itching. None of that. Just take some oil like jojoba oil, vitamin E oil. Just massage your scalp with your hands like this, and oh, you talk about something that feels so good. Okay, and also get yourself like a scalp massager. That you can just go on your scalp and just go to town. Especially when you get that itchy scalp. Sometimes you just want to just woo child. Okay, moving right along. Okay. The next question says, does your hair texture determines how your locks will come out once they're locked? That's another good question. Right now, I can say I'm not fully locked, so it's kind of hard for me to really answer that, but I can say this part. I believe it do because everybody's hair texture is different. Some people's hair lock faster than others. But what I heard that really determines how the sizing of your locks is how you parse it. So that's very important when it comes down to you wondering what kind of locks you want to get. Even though if you get whatever locks you get, it's the parting is always important because that is what determines the size of your lock. It's the part. Now, if you want a little itty bitty lock like how this is right here, okay, how these parts is right here in my head, then you can best believe that them locks gonna be small. I cannot look for no super big lock out of something that's braided this small. Okay, let me see. Can I turn around so you can see? See this? Okay. I'm not about to get no big lock out of something that parted that small, okay? No matter if the part crooked or not, okay? So I know for sure that your parts is what determines the size of your locks. Now, like I said, I believe the texture of your hair does too, because that's all depend on, how your hair has to be locked. I feel that a person with type, let's see, because since hair typing is so big, I feel that a person with type 1 or 2 might be hard for them to do sister locks. Now, that's just my opinion. Even though I'm not no sister lock consultant, I don't know. But it just seems like to me it would be a problem for them to have the sister locks. Now, it might not, but from what I'm seeing and my standpoint as of right now, I think so. Okay, so yeah, I do believe that, yeah, the type of hair that you got do determines how the lock will come out. But once again, the size of the locks is determined by how it's parted, okay? Also, I remember it was she was asking a question since we're talking about parting. She asked a question about she likes to wear her hair parted in the middle, and she was wanting to know could she have her middle part. Only thing I can say, you can have any part that you desire. You just make sure whoever it is that's doing your hair, just let them know, and that they have to make sure that they part your hair in that way. You know what I'm saying? Before they either start putting the locks in. You get that established first. Another question that she had asked was, moving to the next question, I forgot to say, but the next question is can you wear wigs while being locked? Like she was explaining that maybe she didn't want people to know right now that she's locking her hair, and maybe she just wanted to maybe throw on a wig and just go on about her day. Yes, honey, you can. It is one sister on the YT. I will shout her out that I've been watching her videos ever since, because I was looking at wigs and somehow her videos popped up and she had locks, and it was like she was putting on a wig or something within the thumbnail or something. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. And her locks is long. I'm like, you can put a wig on it for this. So that kind of had me. So her name is Lydia After 50s TV. I will link her channel in the description box so you guys can check her out. She has videos about her locks, and she has I think she started with the twisting. but her hair is beautiful. And she also has the type of hair to me that you have, NappyLicious. She has that hair, and I'm telling you, it is so beautiful. So I will link her channel in the description box for you to check her out. But she's very informative. She does videos about her locks, as well as she do inspirational pieces on her video on her channel. So she has shouted me out. So now I'm shouting you out, Lydia. I love you, girl. But anyways, moving right along, you can wear some wigs when you doing locks. Can you? I think it was another question about braids. I will say this when it comes down to that. You can do it, but it will slow down your process of your hair locking. It will slow it down. Why I can say that? Well, let's say about a couple of years ago, I had braids in my hair, just plain braids, and I wanted to try putting, fake hair over the braids, making these big fat old Nubian like braids, as they called it. I think back then they was real fat and long, like that. And I noticed that even though my hair was like, when I had did it, I had washed it. So you know how our hair shrink. My hair, our type of hair shrinks once it's wet or whatever, and it's dry and it shrink. Okay, so once I had put the braids in my hair, okay, I braided up with shrink hair because my hair was braided. But it will stretch it out, and it will, whatever blocking process that was going on, I think that it will cancel it out, and it got to start all over. So be cautious when you're doing those, and if that's what you want to do, then more power to you. But yes, it can be done. All right. Next question is, do I miss my loose natural hair? That's funny you asked that question. That's real funny because yes, I do miss my loose natural hair. As a matter of fact, it was maybe about a week or two ago. I was looking at a video on YouTube, and lady was showing how she was doing a twist out or something. And I'm like, man, I missed that, But then again, I'm like, because I don't want to be bothered with no detangling, none of that. But really, truthfully, you can do a lot of those styles with locks. So it's like, it's not too much that I really can say I'm missing. But far as, the styling of my natural hair, maybe rolling it up, curling it, and doing different things with it. Yes, I miss it, but then again, I don't. So I love my Braidlocs. Okay, that goes to another question here where she was asking, can you do all these different types of styles with your hair once it's locked? Depending on the locks that you get, you got to be very, very careful with what you do. If you want that would get the Braidlocs, or I mean, as far as Braidlocs to me is just simple and easy. You can pretty much do anything you want with them. I mean, from the start to the end. I believe that that's about the best locking process that you can get, and don't have to too much worry about anything. Now that's me. All right. Now on the ends of my Braidlocs, I don't know if you can see it or not. The ends are kind of like, they would be kind of fat to where like, when I shampoo it, I can either braid, like they kind of like loosen up some, and they get bushy feeling. Now, that's really about it. But if I roll my hair up with some kind of rollers or something like that, it takes that in and smash it right on down, and it be kind of nice and smooth. It has completely dried from, me shampooing or whatever. I noticed that the ends still be having that bushy feeling, but after a while, it feels back to normal, like it never was like that. So I guess it's like to each his own, because I still like to do the braiding and banding, but I don't do it all the time, but I do it, and like, sooner or later, I just want my ends, I will braid it up loosely and just tuck the ends up under, like, take it and braid it, and then I'll just take the end like this, tuck it up under like that, where you got that loop, and just put a rubber band on there to where it don't have that old bushy type feeling. But yeah, that's really, and then when I do that, if I just let my hair dry like that, then I got a braid out. Okay. I still have to try the rolling of my hair. I kind of like did that before. Yeah, I did do that before, but I'm trying to think. I think I had a braid out. I think I did it with a couple of rollers. I think I have did it. So yeah, now I haven't tried that flexi rod thing. I haven't did those yet, or the curl formers I don't have, and I don't have those wave thingies that you got. NappyLicious that you tried with your hair, and I loved how those waves was. It was just so pretty in your hair. But I'm pretty sure you could try those because they look like you put them on your hair like you do curl formers. I can't see why you couldn't do locks like that. But yeah, so you go ahead and you get your locks and you show me how it is done, okay? So I'm gonna wait for your video on that one, okay? Okay, now my last question, I think that was really, I think I did answer all of them, but the last question I got here, it says, have I ever took down my locks from what they were and changed it to another way of doing locks? I hope I explained that question where you understand. Like, say for instance, I got these braid locks. No, say for instance, I had started palm rolling my locks. Okay, then I decided I didn't like that, and I took it down and just braid lock like that. Okay, I'll say this. I was about to do that as far as my braid locks. That's why it is so important to do your research on what fits you, to have a clear, let's just say a clear perspective on how this particular lock gonna work, to have a clear, understanding of this is what I got to do. If you somebody, I would say this, make sure that your lock hairstyle fits your lifestyle. Because locking your hair is a commitment, it's not a hairstyle. It really is not. Because it's like, you watching your hair bloom as the days go by. You're not fingering with nothing. See, basically to lock your hair is to get away from all of this commercializing ways of, how we were taught to really do our hair. Basically, we're not supposed to be doing all of this to our hair, but we're taught to do it to where a lot of us still like doing it, and that's that. But when you step into getting locks, that means you're saying, I'm done with this. I no longer want to be a part of that type of world. I'm changing from using this and that. I'm changing from doing this and that to combs and all that type of stuff. And you are like, you giving it up now. Even though locks too has became a hairstyle, because it's so many ways that you can do locks. You got your freeform locks, you got your palm rolling and twisting at the root type locks. You got the micro locks, which is also sister locks / sister locks. That's what I call them. Okay. And you got braid locks, and you got, let me see what other way you can lock. I think that's the twisting, like 2-strand twist locks. So you got different ways of doing these things. Now you have to figure out which one works for you, to where you don't have to change. But I know some people might get into, I know it's quite a few people I say on YouTube went from one lock's way of locking their hair, had full locks and everything, and they took that down, or they cut all their hair off and let it grow back out, and they did it the way they really wanted it done. And then you got some say, oh, well, I just tried it like this to see will this work. Okay, some people, you're going to go through that because maybe you thought you did your research, and then once you really got into it and you saw, okay, no, this ain't for me, I want the other way, it happens. Okay, so, I'm not trying to be here to beat you up about it or nothing like that, but that's just what I'm saying. That's all part of knowing what it is that you want, to where you don't have to go through that. Because I'm pretty sure that once that person went through that, then spent all that time seeing how beautiful them locks did or whatever they did, and then you turn around and do that, I'm pretty sure they was like, dang, them locks looked good though, didn't they? You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, you want to make sure you got all that together. But did I do it? No, I haven't did it yet. But when I first did these braids, started interlocking my braids, I had already had braids in my hair. Okay, so what I did, just out of the random, just start, okay, I'm about to go ahead and try, see, can I interlock? That's what I did. Okay, so I was like, me see, can I do it? But then after I did it, I could say I had what they call that, oh my God, did I do the right thing? Or, that type of way. But I wasn't going to just even though I did a video about that, and I was saying that I wasn't going to let my hair just fully go ahead and went this long period of time before I really figured out this what I wanted to do. So I guess, to a certain point, we all have that, because it's like that that new thing you doing. You know what I'm saying? You kind of wondering, is I'm doing the right thing? You know, if I'm doing it this way, is I'm doing it right? Am I going the right way? Or should I just say forget it? You know, because that's how I was feeling, because I just randomly just up and did it, you know. So I was seeing some videos where a person was saying, you know, what you can experience with locking and with interlocking your hair and all this type of stuff. But I'm gonna say it's gonna be something a person gonna experience. I don't give a care what you do. There's so many people nowadays who didn't realize they had a dandruff problem until they had gotten locks. Okay, so you know, and they're sitting back like, I ain't never dealt with this and this. When I had my, you know, my natural, when I was dealing with my natural hair, I ain't never had this problem. But now they got it. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It happens. Okay. So don't beat yourself up about it. I hope that these answers to these questions was very, very helpful to anyone that's trying to lock their hair. And, you know, I'm trying to more like keep it in a general state, because first of all, I don't really know what locking process that you decide to do, but make sure that you put that A1, and you know how you want your parts and all that kind of stuff before you get into this. That way you know how that thing gonna really roll. You know what I'm saying? Watch plenty of videos of how people manipulating their hair as locks, and see which one that you think gonna work for you. And she was saying in the video that she didn't want to be bothered with running back and forth to beauty shops getting her hair done. She'd rather just continue to do it herself. If you're not that good on parting your hair and you know what I'm saying, get yourself 3 mirrors and put it around your head, just like that little mirror thing I got, and put it around your head to where you could really see what you parting and doing. I would say, to start a thing, it's nothing wrong with going to that beauty shop, letting that person do it, because you know your part's gonna be right, and they got to tell you how to take care of this thing. You know what I'm saying? You go to them until you feel comfortable that you're able to do it yourself, no matter what locking that you get. You know what I'm saying? Just like far as the sister locks, I think with that, the consultant will tell you to come to them for what, 4 to 5 months or something like that. And then after that, you pretty much can be on your own, because that way they want to make sure your hair has really locked to where you can do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it really makes, it helps to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I said, I kind of wish I could have went to somebody to really part my hair, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But anyways, because, you know, she thought she was, this woman right here, she thought she just was doing everything, that she just didn't need that help, y'all. But yes, she did. Because, honey, some of them parts in the back of her head, she need to be hit for them, okay? But anyway, we ain't going to tell nobody. You know, I'm Miss Jenkins. You ain't heard that from me. But anyways, y'all, just, you know, sometimes you have to get that help that you need. You know what I'm saying? Don't be don't be like her and say what you ain't going to need, because everybody needs some kind of help somewhere, okay? So I hope I answered. I think I wrote down everything, and I hope that I answered all of the questions. But hey, if there's any more questions, post them in the comments section. This was an urgent question. Do she have to cut her hair in order to get locks? The answer to that question is no. That's totally up to you. Far as with any locks that you get, no, you shouldn't have to cut your hair. Now, if you maybe not got damaged ends, you might want to get rid of that. People is doing that when it comes to those, what's those locks? The sister locks. Why? Because it's a money thing. The longer your hair is, the more money that the consultant can charge you to do those sister locks, because it's going to take them longer to do. So it's been a lot of people is cutting their hair short, you know, to cut down on that pricing. No, you do not have to cut your hair unless that's something that you want to do. I knew it was a question I was missing, and that one was it of this video. Also, if you have not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And that way you will be notified when I upload videos. Also, guys, for anyone that's want to follow me on my Braidloc journey. But anyway, I have a playlist that I have started, and I put all of my Braidloc videos within that playlist. I think it's called Braidloc Journey. I will link it in the description box or in the card section where you can check that out. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe, so anytime that I upload any video about my Braidlocs, it will go to that playlist, and you can be able to check all the rest of those. Binge watch me check all the rest of those videos out. All right. So yeah, also if you have an Instagram account, I'm trying to reach 10K where I can get that link option to share my videos when I post them. They'll be able to go to that story, click that story and go to that link and go straight to it. But see, I need to get 10K followers on Instagram. Please, guys, if you are a Instagrammer, go ahead and hit the Instagram button, Instagram.com, Tracy920, and follow me there. I'll be all over the place on Instagram. I'll be posting a little bit of everything. So I hope that you'll find something there also that you will enjoy. So with that being said, y'all, I'm not going to hold this no longer, but I want to thank you also so very much for watching, and I wish you all a great, wonderful day. So until the next, bye.